So here it is, my friends, A Look in the Dark, the continuation of that story. And you remember in the last episode, Carol and Danny had been waiting for the men who'd gone to check out their story to come back, hopefully with it verified. And Danny had heard the car, they'd come through the door, and Danny felt his heartbeat, and he said he felt it was like a drum at a public execution. So the men came through the door. Liam looked at Sean and then at Danny. "Right, Sean, we have one crucial question to ask the Rider of the Year." Sean nodded. "Go ahead, ask it." Liam smiled. "Why is a famous writer driving such an ancient and battered old Ford Escort?" Carol let out a very loud laugh, and Danny realised that his wife was more nervous than she'd let on. Sean looked confused. Liam continued, "In England, Mr. Green is the proud owner of a very old Escort, and I bet those English boys at the motor factors used to give him a hard time about that." "It's okay. Their story checks in every detail. They're authentic." "Good," smiled Sean. "Right, boys, let's get out of here. We've been hanging around long enough. Blindfold our two friends. Relax, you two. We'll return all your possessions, though I have to admit it pains me to not take those superb binoculars." "Probably cost them more than the car." Liam's humorous comment was actually the truth. Sean laughed. "Afraid we're going to have to leave you two with a wee walk. It's a matter of insurance. I guess we can trust you, but we have to be cautious. You will get to your car." Carol and Danny were led across the yard to the paramilitary's car, but the lead-in was much more considerate than it had been on the arrival at the old farmhouse. About 5 minutes' drive and the car was stationary and the doors were opened. The thought did cross Danny's mind that they were going to be shot anyway, just in case. As Sean and the younger member of the organisation removed the blindfolds from their prisoners, Danny and Carol blinked in the now bright sunshine. Nobody was wearing masks anymore. Liam was standing scanning the bogland around them, and he was the only member of the gang who had a gun in his hand. Sean was also scanning the fields as he spoke. "Right, Danny Green, author and protector of Ireland's wildlife. Take this pleasant and bold Protestant wife of yours and go over that field. Pass through the gate on the far side and stay close to the stream. When the stream turns into a deep and wide pool, you would need to walk to the right. Climb over the ditch and down onto the road. You'll be safely back in the old 6 counties then, Carol." Everyone laughed, and Danny wondered if there were any circumstances when the Irish would not find some humour. Sean continued, "When you get onto the road, turn right, and the car's less than 2 miles. Here's the keys. Also, here is a name and address." Sean handed Danny a folded sheet of paper. "This man will help you gather information about the activities of Michael O'Connor. Say I sent you. Tell him to check in the usual way. He knows about these things and he will know how to find out what O'Connor is up to. And that's with our permission." Danny smiled and looked the trained IRA activist in the eye. "Thanks, Sean. We really appreciate that." Carol stepped forward, touched Sean's arm and said, "Please be careful, you boys. Do you hear me?" "Aye, Carol, we hear you." The brown eyes looked soft and gentle now. "Now you two watch yourself. Try and stay away from places that might give you trouble." Carol added a word of appreciation. "When this whole thing gets opened up, you'll know that you helped us to sort it out." "Aye, well, get on your way. We don't have all day to stand around chatting. Start walking and don't look back." Sean was smiling as he spoke. "Thanks for checking our story. All the best." Danny was not sure how to say goodbye to the Irish freedom fighters. "See you boys. Drop in for a cuppa someday," Carol called as they turned away. As the Greens followed the directions across the field, they heard the car pull away and felt the most amazingly deep appreciation for life that they'd ever felt. They did not know of the great relief that Sean was feeling, because he would have hated to shoot them. He would have done it unhesitatingly, but it sure would have bothered him. Carol reached out for Danny and they hugged long and hard amid the boggy field and the cooling curlews. Danny wiped a tear from Carol's cheek and she held him as if she was afraid he would not understand the words she spoke of love. "Hey, don't cry, we're free alive." Danny wanted to shout it out as loud as he could. "It's relief and pride and joy, Danny boy, and that's another fine mess you got me into." Then she laughed as another tear splashed on her husband's arm. "I'm so proud of you, Danny Green." I cannot imagine why. Because, God bless you, you were able to put your case across with tact but firmness while you were looking down the barrel of a gun. We could both be dead by now. Carol, I hate and detest violence, but I swear if they'd harmed one hair of your head, well, they would have needed to shoot me fast because I would have killed them. Hey, Dan, I've never seen that in you before. You mean it, don't you? I do, but I'm so confused. They were three very violent men killers, really, but I liked them. I enjoyed talking to them. I was terrified, but I enjoyed the conversation, especially with Sean. That's the tragedy, Dan. They're just men like you with a cause. I'm not killing anyone for my cause. No, that's true, but your Uncle Frank, did he not get some decoration for flying a bomber in World War II? That's right. Well, he wasn't dropping jelly babies on the German down below, was he? But he's your favourite uncle. If you'd grown up on the bogside in Derry, your favourite uncle might have been in the IRA. And if you grew up in Ballybean Estate in Belfast, he might have been in the UDA. It's all so heartbreaking. Try explaining it that way to your father. If my Dan knew who we had tea with today, he would absolutely flip his lid. Hey, Dan, listen, what do you hear? Danny hesitated. Nothing, just the wind rustling through the bog. Aye, and isn't it great to be alive to hear it? Oh, Danny, I do love you. And I sure love you. And by the way, I would have been lost back there without you. Ah, get away with you. You had the Irish Republican Army eating bird preservation out of the palm of your hand. You could persuade most people to cooperate if you were just given a platform. I don't think so, Carol. I think we should thank God that Sean was there. I don't think everyone would have sent us on our way with this. He held up the piece of paper with the address and name on it. Carol clung tightly to his arm as they walked. You never thought they would shoot us, did you, Carol? It was a statement, not a question. At one point, Dan, I was pretty sure they would. She caught his shocked expression. So, they're free, they're safe, they're believed, and despite the clumsiness of their operation, they've got what they wanted. Some help to get information about the man who's dealing in birds on the border. Isn't it good? So how do they carry on their investigation? There's a bit more to this chapter, and the next chapter carries on further. I appreciate you continuing to listen to this long story, and I hope you're getting some pleasure out of it. I really do appreciate that somebody's showing an interest in it, and it's nice to share it with you. It's very cold here today. We had a cold old day today, with a bit of wind and some rain, but not much. I hope it's nice where you are. Most of all, I hope you've got warmth in your hearts, my friends. Love to one and all, and bye for now. Bye bye.